All right. Okay, thank you for coming to today's meeting. This is my first meeting, so I'm a little bit nervous, but let's give it a go.
That's right, so are we. That's
Okay. Okay. So you've all got a meeting agenda.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So just before we start, how about we just introduce ourselves? Okay. So I am Michelle, obviously, and Layla, my supervisor, has asked me to implement a new program for children. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. But before we do that, let's continue with the introductions.
I'm Finn.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
I'm Sonia and I work with cases with children.
All right.
And I'm Jamelia.
Okay. Jamila. All right.
Jamila, sorry.
That's all right.
English version.
English version. All right. So I've been asked to implement a program for children. Before we continue, Pierre's not able to be here today due to other commitments, so he sends his apologies. So new program development. They want to teach Syrian refugees who've not been here very long and their families English. So I've come up with an idea. The acronym is LETM, L-E-T''M, and it's called Learning English Through Movement. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, help yourself to the paper.
Thank you.
What do you think about that title? What do you think about the idea?
It's catchy.
It's catchy.
What does it stand for again?
Learning English Through Movement.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
So there's going to be children and there's going to be adults, but I mean the adults will just join in.
Do you have like an age range for the children?
Let me just go back through my notes here. Just children, refugee children. So I would assume up to primary school.
Primary school age?
Primary school, yeah.
But other children are included if they're within the family. So if you have like 3-year-olds, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, siblings.
Yes.
Yeah, I think siblings are fine.
Okay.
I think you can't exclude one from the other, especially if one's like it's going to be an after-school program. I think that would be the best. So we can't really exclude. The parents would have to pick them up from school and bring them. Can't really exclude the siblings, can you? When you see another sibling up there dancing around and no, you can't join in. So yeah. Anyway, so learning English through movement obviously means that we're going to be dancing and singing. So we each have to, before that we have to decide what type of songs, what type of movement do you think would be appropriate?
You got like heads, shoulders, knees and toes.
So the basic...
That would teach them the English body parts.
Alright, so how would you class those? Basic school songs? Basic...
Baby songs.
Beginner songs.
Beginners, yeah. That sounds
Basic
good.
beginner songs. Beginners songs.
And maybe something with a beat, like a repetitious beat that they can get the hang of. Like, you know how you hear a song or you hear a beat, but you don't know the words, but then you know them, and then you sort of follow along. And
Alright. Can you think of any songs like that?
not
Yeah, Nutbush.
No, but you know, like, that's one. But when you hear it, you immediately go, oh, you might not remember the dance, but you just, oh yeah, hang on, it's
It's Nutbush.
Tina Turner. There's a specific dance for it, but it repeats.
Okay.
It's too old for the kids. I just thought I'd add that in.
okay.
yeah. But something, that they get, like all the Wiggle songs and that, they know them off by heart, but
Yes.
something with a repetitious beat that they will get familiar with.
Twinkle, twinkle.
So nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
Nursery rhymes. And repetitious ones, what about what's that?
Oh.
A little bit of this.
The birdie song? What do you call it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's the birdie
The
song.
birdie song?
I used to do it with Nana at Legacy Camp. Yeah.
Any other songs? So we've got, well, how about we come up with a bunch of songs? We've got Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, Twinkle, Twinkle. Twinkle, Twinkle. The
Incy
birds-
Wincy.
Incy Wincy.
Excuse me.
With ABC song, obviously. Alphabet song. But the alphabet song, there are, at least I know about 5 different versions of them. So I think they're going to be learning the school version ABCD, the normal one. But there's other ones as well. You've got no Arabic background. Is the pronunciation of Arabic different to English? I know in Japanese some of the sounds you can't pronounce either in either language. What about Arabic?
Yes, there would be.
Okay, so maybe we teach them a different version of the alphabet.
With the alphabet song, probably the easiest one to teach them is what's on Sesame Street.
Which is what?
Was it like A is for apple?
No,
That's a
it's
funny
just the
song.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that one. Because I'm pretty sure it's on Sesame Street and they're going to watch those shows on TV at home. So they should be able to relate to it.
So that one, there's the standard one, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right?
Yeah.
There's the other one, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U.
Oh.
I'm not familiar with that one.
That's
only
for
familiar
second.
with the
Okay, so the first one
yeah.
is for native speakers, the second one is for non-native speakers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The first one, I just figured there was like an elephant in it.
Element.
Yeah, but then again, that also can be true. But when it comes to working with other groups and familiar with Arabic, you can actually implement that and teach the children, well, this is how we say it here, and just work with them and so the difference.
the native one?
Yeah, yes. So you sort of help them along and go, okay, it sounds like this, where we come from, but this is how, and just help them with the transition of
So do
those few letters that they might have troubles with.
Okay, so do the English second language alphabet song first, and then do the normal one second.
And so, or just to get them familiar with the difference of the two and go, okay, well.
All right, so, well, they're going to be learning the my main concern is when we sing, when you do a series of songs, you try and stick to the same song so that they just learn the most. So if we do, one day we do the English second language version, then the next day we do the native, they're not going to know. And even if we tell them, today we're doing the native version, not all kids are going to pick it up, they'll be screaming that. So should we go?
Sorry, I was trying not to yawn with my mouth wide open.
It's fine. With the English second language one only, or should we go with the native one only? What do you
I'd
think?
do the native one because that's what they're going to have at school
Okay.
and
Yeah.
around.
Alright, so we've got those.
In regards to the songs, I know that people from different countries have troubles with different letter. Like Japan, it's L and D to a degree. So maybe we can figure out what actual letter they have trouble with and find a song that helps them enunciate it. Does that make sense?
Could we get you to, for our next meeting, write up a list of pronunciation that's difficult going from Arabic to English?
Yeah.
Yep. And then we can work on that from there. Yep. And what about if you're able to, a song that might be, maybe you can speak to some friends that have Arabic backgrounds also, or maybe you know somebody, and find out which songs would be the best. What do you think?
That should be pretty easy.
So you want her to come back with a list of songs. Tell me that again,
So
sorry.
a list of, Jamila will come up with a list of sounds sounds that are difficult going from Arabic to English,
Yes.
and then a few songs, 1 or 2, we should be fine. Songs that would help.
Okay. Is So is it too soon here to suggest that we have somebody that is a fully fluent interpreter to come to the first meeting?
So you're fluent.
Okay,
So she has a background in Arabic, but she's fluent in Arabic. So
and English.
yeah.
Okay.
So she's
all right.
you're born here.
Yeah.
Yep. And your parents are from Syria. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be at this meeting to speak to the parents and the children if necessary and interpret for them.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the plan is that we get Jamila to come to the first set. So we're going to have a rotation eventually, or if we can work out our case load, hopefully just Jamila can attend as the interpreter. But I think it's good for the children to have interaction with somebody who doesn't speak their language, so they don't become reliant on Jamila. So I'd say for the first 3 or 4 get-togethers,
Yes.
that not just by herself, but one of us or will need to be with her. And maybe each time we go with her, and she will have an understanding of how the whole thing runs,
Yes.
and then we can learn it, and then we
Yes.
can divide it and swap it around. Because if it goes really well, then I'm hoping that we do it throughout the school term,
Okay.
and then have a break on the holidays. So then maybe one school term we can do it, and then rotate it. So
Okay.
yeah. Is there any thoughts on that? Because that was just off the top of my head just then. I hadn't thought that far ahead before.
No,
Is
that's
Is there only one of us at each meeting? Like the first 3 will have 2 of us there, but after that, is there only one person?
I don't think, given our caseloads, and that we will be able to be more. I mean, if one of us is free, definitely.
I was just thinking of backup. So you say to somebody, okay, you're running it, but you're the backup, and then
Oh,
next
if you
week you're
can't make
running
it?
you're the backup.
All right. Yeah, if you're sick or something. No, that's
Otherwise, your parents turn up. There's nobody there.
so
maybe we. Sorry.
So for the first 3 meetings, there's going to be 2 people there.
Yes.
Okay, and then after that,
So maybe they don't need to turn up together because, as I said, yeah. But we work it out so we just do office work. So if we don't, one of us has to attend, but the other one's in the office. So if that person's sick or something comes up, the one that's in the office can attend. Yep. So you want to do it that way? So like a buddy system.
Yeah.
All right. So a buddy system. So after the 4th time.
if you're taking notes, why am I taking notes?
Not you're doing. Mine's just different from my mind's what we've just discussed.
Oh, okay.
All right. What also we've done the music, and we're going to work out the songs. What other things? How long do we want the workshop to go? It's called a workshop. How long do we want the workshop to go for?
Being primary school kids, you only want it to go for half an hour, 45 minutes at the very most.
45
Otherwise,
minutes.
they'll lose
Yeah, they'll
attention
lose
span.
attention.
30 to 45. All right, so let's try and figure that out. What do we want to actually do in the course?
Okay, excuse me for interrupting, but having said that, if you do it for 30 minutes, have a break for fruit, water, whatever, of 15 minutes, then you can make those sessions
An hour long.
an hour.
School finishes at 3:15. Give them 20 minutes to get there. Get home, get changed, get there.
Well, they can actually come from school if you can base
but
it
their
somewhere
parents
near
got-
a school.
Yeah, that's true. But the parents have got to pick them up and bring them there.
Maybe make it 4 till 5.
I think an hour's too long for little kids. I do.
Not if you have the break in the middle.
I would
Or
recommend not having a break because trying to get them back from the break
Okay,
is hard.
all right. So, what would you say, 4 to 5, Finn?
Yeah, 4 to 5 or quarter to 4 to quarter to 5. It still gives parents enough time to go home on that particular day and do dinner and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think an hour's too long though.
Well, maybe you can.
Alright, hang on, before we
maybe-
decide that,
Why don't you just do a start time and then
let's work on 3:45, right? So first, let's work out what we're going to do in the actual class. What were you going to say? Sorry.
I've forgotten now.
Sorry.
Oh, maybe as a trial. You can do it as a trial. Like you can go in there with the idea of going, okay, we'll do it for say half an hour, and then you can gauge off the reaction and the vibe of them, of the children, and how they're going and whatnot, and then go, okay, maybe we'll extend it a little bit longer, and like they could be really involved and really loving it, and then sometimes you go do something and you're like, oh, is that over already? So then, with the room to move for a little bit of an extension, like I mean, there's going to be some parents that nope, we've got to be out of here by 4:30. Nope, we're out of here. But others might be like, well, yeah, they're enjoying it. Let's.
The other option is if you have a break, and this can be decided later on. It doesn't have to be decided like on the first one or prior to it happening. They don't necessarily have to go outside. They can just all sit in a circle and have a little container of water and a piece of fruit and...
Yeah, it's not going to work. Say we've got 30 kids, that's not going to work.
Oh, you're expecting that many?
Well, we don't know how many. So, but before we can decide how long, we need to decide what we're going to do in the class, because that will determine how long it will go for.
Okay.
So say we start at 3:45. So the first thing we're going to do, and I think we should do in every class, is have a warm-up song or songs,
Yes.
plural, and just go through those. So say the first 10 minutes is just dancing to the songs.
Maybe an introduction song like My Name Is,
Yeah, all right, that's great. My name is, yep.
and then they can all sort of...
There's one song I know, hello, 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 what's your name? Hello, hello, hello. My name is Michelle, my name is Michelle. Hello, hello, hello. So we can go around except the only problem with that is there's 30 kids, it takes forever. So just
So that
choose.
takes us to 4:45.
Let's go home.
And no fruit or drink involved.
Well, okay. So dancing, so we'll say 10 minutes, dancing, singing. And then I think we sit them in a circle and we do, if we haven't done the what's your name, so I think we need to do a standard question. Or question, depending on how many kids you've got. If you've got 30 kids, one question is going to survive. If you've got 5 kids, 2 questions is fine, 3 questions. So, if we've done that, what's your name, that's fine. We don't need to do that one. But how old are you? And a really good one is, are you a boy or a girl? Because lots of little kids have no
But you
idea.
can't do that these days.
Oh, yeah.
You can't ask that question.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll put what's your name in
You hold this
brackets.
big list up where you're male, female, trans, bi, and you go point.
How old are you? What else? What other question can you think of, Jamila? Anything?
What colour is your hair?
No, that's difficult because Asians will say black and it's not. We say brown. So it's something that I'd rather not say no.
What is that? Is that you?
There's an oil heater under here
Yeah.
keeping us warm.
No, it's Mel.
Okay.
No, it's the dog.
Pips around somewhere, yeah.
So no, that's not a good one.
How many siblings do you have?
No, that's too hard. The word sibling's hard.
Yes, and you might have children that have come in that have lost them
Wars.
in war.
What's your favourite colour?
You can't even ask them
Yep. What's your favourite colour?
their mum and dad.
Okay, so that's what's your name, how old are you, what's your favourite colour? That's good. And then we just go from there. If we think of another question along the way, I mean, each at our own time, we can just come up with something else if we want.
Mm.
Yep, that'll do. All right. What are we going to do next? There's the dancing. There's the question time.
What about like colours?
So flashcards.
No. Colours. You could make it fun. You could use. We could probably source some coloured bean bags.
Or coloured spots on the ground with so many of them.
Yeah.
And you have to stand on a pink one.
Yep. Stand on pink.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's so many to cover the
Or you
amount of
can-
children there.
Yeah, or you can try and get the coloured bean bag in the, I don't know, coloured basket or something, I don't know.
That's a good one. I often have coloured balls, and I say to the kids, bring me the green balls. So I have to bring all the red balls and put them in the sack. Bring me the red balls. Bring all the red balls and put them in the sack.
You can do that with the spots on the floor
Jamila.
Jamila suggested. You play the music, and when it stops, everybody runs around and finds the pink spot.
Yep, I've done that. That's good. That's a good idea. Yep.
But you need to have, until they get the concept, enough spots for every child.
Yes. Okay. You can get by with that if you don't have enough spots. When the child brings it over, you just chuck it out again.
Okay.
But yeah, having enough is. I mean, one day. So if the weather's bad, the pouring with rain, we might only have 5 kids. The next time the weather's perfect, we have 35 kids. So that you've got to juggle it. But you can get around that. But it's a good idea. Yeah. All right. So we've got the dancing. What's your name? I'll just put learning game. That's what I put down. So the what's your name will take about. And the colours take about 6 minutes. The dancing is 10. The learning game. So 2 games I think is probably better.
Are they going to be the same games every time though? Or can we put down a list of, we can alternate?
No, definitely we can alternate. I think perhaps if you could come up, Sonia, you had some good ideas. If you could come up with a list of games learning games that possibly we could use, like the throwing them out on the floor and getting to pick them up, or stopping the music and getting to pick them up. Some more games.
We could do a quick brainstorm here.
We could. We can. Yep, we can do that.
So I was thinking of the plastic fruit that you get.
Yes.
Go and find me something that's yellow, and then they find it. It's a banana. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's a
yellow
double
and a banana.
meaning.
Yeah.
Yep. Learning games list for Sonia, and alright, so let's just come up with some more, and then if you could just add to that later, Sonia, that would be great.
Okay, then no worries.
So find the banana. find something yellow.
Find coloured plastic fruit. Yeah.
Find the plastic fruit. Okay. Any other games? Oh, I like
Simon Says.
Simon's. That's for. Oh yeah, that'll do. Simon Says.
So it could be Simon Says, touch the door.
Yep.
So you go
Okay.
to the door and touch it. Touch the floor, touch the, so there's more words there as well.
Sounds good.
When
Where
Sonia
is it-
runs
where
the
is it-
program, she can say, Sonia says.
True.
With that, how we do it with little children in putting names on things like door, refrigerator, all that, so that when they go,
Can you press stop? I've forgotten what we're talking about, but never mind. Thank you. Oh, we're talking about songs.
yes,
Touch the door.
I mentioned about putting signs on things.
Signs on.
Door.
Oh,
that
yep,
get
yep.
Stuck on the
All
door,
right.
but they need to be able to. I mean, depending on where we're having this, needs to be able to come off easy, and not put blue tack on things or.
I think the signs would be beneficial for the parents, but not for the children, because they wouldn't be able to read them.
But if you do it in both, if you do it in Arabic and
No, because they won't
English?
look at the English, they'll only look at the Arabic.
okay,
Yeah.
What sort of game could we do where it involves a cup, a plate,
Every day.
knife and
The
fork
chocolate
and
game.
yes.
I can't play it. Can't.
I don't know if that'll get
We
on.
can't
well,
really-
every time.
Yeah, we can't really have food and that at the.
No, but just having the items there so they can say, can I have a glass of water? So this is a glass. Can we think of any game?
We can make a game.
Or we can make a craft. The only thing with that would be we could only use it for that particular lesson. And they take it home and never come back again. But, or we could take in plastic cups.
Yes, and you could put on it plastic cup.
Yes.
Or just cup, just the word
Just
cup.
cup. But if they say, can we have a cup of water, please? We could fill it with
Water.
blue, what are those things called? Marbles. Or blue paper. Here goes.
Probably blue paper. I can just see the
Marbles
primary
go,
school. No, I can see the primary school age, you know, that said they stuck up their nose with a choking on it.
Blue lose on the special.
They have blue everywhere.
Just go and get a cup out of the. Oh, no, you don't.
Oh yeah, so that's good. Alright, so how about we have put that in learning games. Yep, so we want things that relate to them immediately, things that they can use. So what would you use to describe that, Finn?
I don't know. I'm just writing cup, plate, and bowl.
Everyday utensils.
What about
You could
the meal game?
You can use the egg and spoon race thing.
Oh yeah, egg and a spoon. How would we incorporate language into that?
Ready, set, go.
Unless you potentially have something on there and you give them a thing and they've got a choice of 3 at the end and they've got to put whatever's on the spoon and they race to the end and they've got to put it in the
Cup.
Like, yeah, say for example you've got the cup, the plate and the spoon or something over there and then you give that child which one's the cup and then they've got to go over and they've got something on the spoon and you put it in the bucket at the end and they've got to put it in the right.
That's good. What about small, medium, large? That kids have a lot of trouble with that.
Yes.
So you say
Little ping pong ball or something.
yeah, put it in the medium cup.
Yeah.
And put it in. They've got to put it in. So they put this.
And at no time can you say go to the fat lady.
Egg and spoon race, incorporating small, medium, and large. That's good. I like that. We have the meal. Well, we can have the meal game. We can have the servers. I mean, you can be a server yourself, and then
Who can put the banana on the plate?
no, because
We give them a plate. Here's your plate. Go find me the banana.
What's
They
better
do
to-
with the if you what's the word with it? Put sticking with colours. The yellow banana, the red apple.
that's good. What about because we're saying the words, then they're not. So to get them to say the words, it's better for us to say, what do you get them to stand somewhere and say, what do you want? I want the banana. I want the yellow banana. And get them to go and, once they've said it, go and get it and put it in the basket.
Oh yeah, but I meant like the first time they actually do it. So the first time they actually do it, because they're learning the enunciation, the pronunciation from us. So we could play that game once where we say it, and then like the next session you'd say, what do you want to get off the table, or what do you want off the table? Because they've got to learn to actually be able to say it.
That's good. If we did it for a whole term that way, and then we switch it to what do you want the next time, because some kids will come sometimes, they won't come other times.
So at
Alright.
the beginning of that again I missed it.
So for the first term, you say, what was it? What do you want? No.
For the first term you'd say, please get me the yellow banana,
Okay.
for an example.
And then for the next one, what do you want?
The next one, yeah.
For the next term.
The next term.
Yeah. Do you want there? I want the something. Okay. It's Japanese. Good. So I think we've got enough games.
Yeah, there's quite a few there. Plus the you know, the dance, the My Name Is song, the, you know, what's your name, how old are you, and your favourite colour.
And if it's possible to get some songs that are Arabic translated into English, it can be done, and you just need the rhythm of it and work the words around how as close to how they sing it as possible.
Sounds good.
Do you
But
remember?
we've got our general songs here, you know, head, shoulders, knees and toes, they might have their nursery rhymes.
Mhm.
So
And
we
then just put
have
it
to
into
translate
English. Yes.
Do you think you could? Can you think of anything off the top of your head?
Oh, not off the top of my head, but it wouldn't be hard to source that.
All right. So can I get you to do that?
Yes.
Because I know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is in Japanese and English and French, so there must be an Arabic version. Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you get the rhythm that they know,
Mm.
the words will come. Even if they mess it up a bit, the words will come.
All right. So just timing. Dancing's 10 minutes. Question 6. The learning games, I would say.
We sort of need to pick how many learning games we're going to do per session and figure out how long they're roughly going to take.
I would say 2,
2 of them?
because after this I'm thinking story time as well.
The learning game, 2
Yeah,
minutes.
two learning
sorry.
games.
2.
So a max of 10 minutes for 2 learning games.
What I mean is depending on how many.
So I thought we had 6 minutes, but sorry.
No, 6 minutes are what's your name, how old are you, and your favourite colour. That's right at the beginning.
Okay.
But depending on how many children there are and how many facilitators or
Yes.
leaders, you could potentially run two games at the same time, and then potentially, if everyone's on the same page of knowing what you're achieving, you can be like, right, now we swap, and then you swap, like they go to the other game, so that you're basically maximising interaction and also swapping, and then therefore there's your 10 minutes, but they've played both games and there's they've achieved the interaction with both facilitators at the same time.
Can you also write us out a list of what's culturally acceptable and what's not? For instance, in Japan, little boys walk around and with their buddies, they hold hands. It's perfectly normal. They don't do it here because some older child will tell them they're queer. Is there anything culturally that Arabic children don't do here?
So cultural
Don't do there
differences
that we can't get them to do here. I'm thinking of when they line up, the children here ask to hold hands. For example, when they're little, if that's not appropriate for the children from Syria, we need to know that so we don't cross the boundary.
That's a
Like,
good, that's a good point.
in India can't touch their heads. So
You're
that's
not allowed
good.
to do that in Indonesia either.
Okay. Well, that'd be good. Would
Yeah.
you mind doing that? All right. So I list the cultural differences. Great. All right. So that's 10 minutes for that, and then I'm thinking story time.
Yes.
Get the kids to finally sit down and have a story. I'm thinking Australian stories. They are going to. My original idea was to have the children like, not Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
No.
What's the
Snuggle,
pot and cuddle fight. That was my original thinking, but they'll do that in school. There's
Okay.
grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Enid Blyton is just what they do. So I'm actually thinking that I might get Pierre he has some knowledge of teaching English to overseas children from overseas, of getting him to find some books that you generally don't find here, but they're very easy to understand, children's books. He has a couple of connections. I think he even has some himself. So getting Pierre to come up or bring a couple of storybooks next time that we can look at, and then decide what it is. Just the please and thank yous, unless if there's a particular Australian book or a popular book that you can think of that would be children might like. I'm trying to think of one at the moment.
We can think of one that's repetitive, like Dr. Zeus.
Oh.
No, but not Dr. Zeus.
Yeah.
But if we can think of one that's a bit repetitive.
Yep.
So the Cat in the Hat is out.
Yeah, I'm not into green eggs and ham.
Yeah. But I was thinking also like I don't know about. I'm sure it's the same. I know that in Japan, in Australia, the word poo, like kids just love the word poo.
Especially boys.
Especially boys. But it's the same in Japan. The word poo just travels around. So maybe we can come up with a and it's something, pug the something is on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember what it's called.
Or if it's in regards to poo, I think it'd be more like plug than pug.
There's also one about maybe losing a tooth or going to the dentist. I know.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
And what about one at the moment, the wonky donkey? That's really
Oh,
good.
Winky wonky donkey.
Wonky donkey.
Wanky wonky donkey.
I might just write that down. Wonky donkey. So something that rolls off the tongue. My daughter has one.
Sorry to interrupt. Is that like most people when they get drunk? Donkey, ass, drunk? Okay.
My daughter has one. The crocodile goes snappity snap, snappity snap. So it's be sitting in the back of the car and go snappity snap, snappity snap. So I'm thinking something that's got a catchphrase like that in it might be fun to.
Baby shark.
No. Well, yeah, but actually there is a book that has that. That would be fun actually. There's so many.
You come up with some actions though.
Oh, just anything, babe. Don't see it.
Baby shark do 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 do.
Oh,
Baby
baby
shark
shark.
do 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 do.
Baby shark, baby shark. Mommy shark, All right, so we'll get Pierre to do that. So the storybook is just 5 minutes because I can't see the kids, or even 3 minutes actually. I can't see the kids sitting down. Before we actually do the story though, it's good to have an introduction song. So the kids all come together. I can't remember the song that I know, but it's a clap your hands and put them on your lap and then you all sit down. So I'll get that song out. I can't actually remember it at the moment, but I will just have the story time song. I think that's a really good song to use to get them all, you've been playing, they're all exhausted, maybe at the end of the game they can go off and have a drink, get them to come back, story time song.
Or they can go and get the drink bottle and come and sit down.
No, because then they'll fiddle with the drink bottle and spill it and yeah. Oh well, depending on age groups, I guess.
It would depend on the age.
Yeah, okay. No, I won't rule that out. That's good. The story song. Storytime song. Storytime song takes maybe 3 minutes. No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Storybook's 3 minutes. 31 minutes. How about we just stick at 30 minutes? I mean, if it goes over 5 minutes,
It's not too bad.
it's not going to be a problem.
Mm.
Any longer than that, I think we're going to be exhausted. The kids are going to be exhausted.
Kids will lose concentration.
Yeah. So how about, I mean...
You can always, if at some stage in that they're looking as if they're going to, I don't know where, you can have a marching song, they'll march around the room.
everybody hop, everybody skip, everybody jump.
Yeah.
With them out. Yep, that's good.